Hey guys, I'm Kayla, the travel nurse, and today we're going to talk about compact licensure. What is a compact license? Compact license, according to the National Licensure Compact, allows nurses to practice in NLC states without having to obtain any additional licensures. As of right now, according to the NLC, there are 33 states that recognize the Nurse Licensure Compact Agreement. New Jersey has a partial acceptance. Oregon and Alaska are currently awaiting legislation for approval.
Hi, editing Kayla here. So in the time it took me to record the video and then get everything edited, a few changes were made with the NLC. So in addition to Alaska and Oregon pending legislation, Washington, Ohio, and Vermont all went ahead and joined the pending list. So that is great news for people living in those states. There's no anticipated approval date for legislation in these states. So if you live in one of these states that is currently pending, just keep an eye on things and hopefully it'll be sooner rather than later.
I am going to post in the description box below the link to the NLC website, which also will include a link to the current NLC map. So you can check which states are currently in agreement and if you qualify to obtain a compact licensure based on where you reside. Now, who is a compact licensure for? It is for nurses who live in a compact state. A question I got recently was, if I live in a non-compact state and I go take a contract in a compact state, can I switch my license to that compact state and obtain a compact licensure, and then from there proceed to work in compact-only states? The answer is no. The only way that you can do that legally is by changing your residence to that new state, maintaining your residence in that state, and switching over your license from your home state to your new home state and getting it issued as a compact licensure. That is the only way to make it work. Let me give you an example of this just so that we're very clear. You hold a California license because your residence is in California. You want to take a contract in Florida. You would have to apply for a Florida license. You cannot apply for a multi-state or compact license in Florida unless you uprooted your life from California and plopped it back down in Florida permanently and changed everything to Florida. And then from there, maintained a residence in Florida, meaning you bought a house, you rented an apartment, you're renting a room in someone's house, whatever it may be. Everything needs to shift from California to Florida. And then from there, yes, you can go start working in compact states with your compact Florida license. But you cannot just go there on a contract without any change of residency, obtain a compact license, and then go work in another compact state from there while your residence is still in California. You will get burned so bad on that. It's unethical, and I'm pretty sure it's illegal. If you were going to work in a different compact state on that shady compact license, then and you got burned on that, they would pull your license completely. Like, that's, you can't mess around with it. So just be really safe and protect yourself. If you live in California and you want to take a Florida contract and you want to change your residency to Florida, let's say you get there and you love it and you're like, you know what, this works better for me, I'm gonna rent a room from a friend and I'll just keep renting my room from them. I'll leave my stuff in Florida. I'll change my driver's license to Florida, my registration of my car to Florida. I'll just change everything to Florida and that'll be my new home. Then yes, by all means, get that compact licensure and go for it. But that is the only way to make that work, okay? So for those of you who live in non-compact states, like California, we'll keep using them as an example, what would you do if you wanted to go work in another state, regardless of whether they were compact or not? You would just have to get a single state license for every state that you travel to, which is super inconvenient, I'm not gonna lie. I hold something like 8 or 9 different state licensures because I have a Florida compact, but I work in a lot of single states because they are not part of the compact agreement. So it's a pain in the ass to have to maintain all these different licensures and meet all the requirements for renewal every couple years. But it is what it is, so I can work in these states. So a compact licensure, you are gonna end up going to some single licensed states, that just happens, in which case you'll have to obtain a single state license, no biggie. But if you prefer to only travel in compact states, then you need to reside in a compact state and then switch your licensure over to the multi-state instead of the single state. Where can you find compact state applications? You can use your state board of nursing website to find the link for licensure by endorsement or exam if it's your first time sitting for boards. You would simply fill out the application and select multi-state as the option when you are applying for the licensure. If your legal residence is a state, join the licensure agreement as of January 19th, 2018, which these states would be Florida, Georgia, Oklahoma, West Virginia, and Wyoming, and you hold a single state license in one of those states, then you should complete the application to switch that over to a multi-state according to the Board of Nursing's website. It would behoove you, even if you were not up for renewal and you were considering traveling at this time, to go ahead and get that switched over. I think for Florida, it takes something like maybe a month or less for it to be approved. But if you're considering traveling, you want to go to compact states, and you are in a state that has recently been indoctrined into the agreement, then go ahead and switch it over now. Your renewal will stay the same. So if you are supposed to renew in a year and a half from now, you can go ahead and have that application for the multi-state completed now. It'll switch over, and then still in a year and a half, you'll do your standard renewal as originally anticipated. But now it'll just be for a multi-state. So go ahead and get that done now, because each state, it can take a little time to switch it over, and you don't want to delay yourself if you're considering traveling now, because you will need that license in hand before you can submit. So we talked about moving earlier, so let's talk about that again in a little more in depth. So let's say you're moving from a non-compact to a compact state. Again, you're moving from California, non-compact, to Florida, compact. What do? You apply for licensure by endorsement. You can complete that before or after your move. All you do is select multi-state on the application. It's just that simple. Now let's say you move from a compact to a non-compact state. So you move from Florida to California. What do? You apply for licensure by endorsement before or after your move, and you will not be able to select multi-state. It will revert to a single state licensure. You cannot work on your existing compact licensure in your new non-compact state, because that state does not recognize that licensure. So be mindful of that as well. Now let's say you move from a compact state to a compact state. You move from Florida to Georgia, right? What do? You apply for licensure by endorsement. You do it upon your move. Don't wait until your Florida license or your previous state's license expires. You want to get that done while you're moving. You can practice on a Florida license in the state of Georgia. You can practice on any compact license in any compact state. But because you are moving your residency to another compact state, you still have to apply for that licensure by endorsement. You still check multi-state. You still will have a compact license. You just have to change which state your residence is, and that has to reflect what nursing license you have. So you're still compact. You can go from Georgia to any other compact state. Nothing has changed except your primary compact licensure state has changed. That's all. What happens to your Florida compact state is it just becomes invalid, or whatever state you move from. It's just invalid when it expires. So, let's say your Florida license renews in March of this year, but you moved to Georgia in January of this year. Well, your license in Florida will still expire in March, and you'll just work on it until you get the Georgia one. So as long as your Georgia license is issued before your Florida license expires, you're in good shape. Just don't practice on an expired license. Make sure you're timing this correctly. Getting a compact licensure is obviously optional. It is not required. It just makes things a lot easier and opens up a lot of doors to you in the travel world, because now you have 33 states that you can work in on one license instead of having to get a single state license for every state you go to. I mean, that's the biggest convenience of it all. But there's a couple additional reasons as to why you should consider getting it. One is for the ease of applying to travel contracts. Again, that is the number one best and simplest argument for getting your compact license, is you now have one license and you can go to 33 different states. I mean, how great is that, right? You don't have to maintain single state licensures, so you don't have to get X amount of credit hours for this state and X amount of credit hours for that state and do a renewal every 2 years, or like Washington, do a renewal every first year. Hawaii, you don't have to do it every, if you renew on odd years, it costs this much money. If you renew on even years, it costs this much money, and et cetera, et cetera. I mean, if you have a single state, obviously you have to fulfill those requirements in order to renew. But if you only travel in compact states, you're just required to maintain your originating compact licensure states requirements for renewal. So, it just saves a lot of time and a lot of hassle. With COVID has changed a lot of things. A lot of states have opened their borders open wide for anyone to just come in and work on any license that you have. So a lot of states that are single state, like New York, back last year in March, they just opened it up for anybody. They would take anybody's active license in any state and you could come and work. I know some of the other states have done that. Texas has done that. California, shockingly, has done that. They have the most strict requirements and process I've ever experienced, and they're just like, please help us. So, do you need a compact license to do that? No. But, it is nice if you end up in a compact state that is desperate for travelers, but they do still require a compact license. While you're in good shape, you can go. You don't have to wait on the process of getting the actual single state license. Having a compact license is also a win-win for hospitals and for companies, because it just makes the process a lot easier. Ease of access, ease of placement, ease of working in all these states without any additional requirements. I mean, I think to summarize compact licensure, it's just easy. Compact licensure equals easy. Like that is the summarization of it. I also want to mention, I know this is about compact licensure, but I want to mention that a lot of states, Illinois, Massachusetts, and Pennsylvania, have opened up on their board of nursing websites where you can apply for a crisis license. So with Illinois, it's like one piece of paper, you print it out, fill it out, email it back. Within a day, they will issue you a temporary crisis license. In Massachusetts is doing a crisis license. Again, it's like one form you fill out and they issue it to you. These are going to be good until the governors of these states decide that there is no longer a crisis. I have had the Illinois license for almost a year, and it keeps getting extended by the governor. I've had the Massachusetts license for a good probably 6 months now, and it keeps getting extended. And again, these are free. These are free for you. So if you are interested right now in going to some of these states that if they have needs, hop on these, because it's like a weird time for nurses, and it's a weird time for travelers to be able to get these licenses so quickly and so easily. So I will post those links down below in the description box, so you can go explore those and get yourself some of those free licensures while you can. I hope that clarified what compact licensures are, who's qualified to get them, and how you can get one. And that is all. I will see you in the next video. Good luck and happy travels.